close. Oh, wow. Look who's first again.
Hello.
All right, we officially have an audience, and so we will start. Hello, everyone, which is right now one person.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys, and thank you very much for joining. We haven't done this in a long, long time, but something big happened this weekend, and that was Canjam Singapore. And as I have been telling some people, I know a lot of you guys have asking for more content from us. And, Said has been doing a lot of amazing shorts, which I think a lot of you have been appreciating. We will be doing more of those. I have been trying to keep up with the impression side on the website. But basically what I told people is at the moment, I will write about something when I really have to, as in when I can't not write about it. And so that was the Moses, the last one. And then Kanjam happened, and then I'm again thinking, we can't not talk about this. There's so much to unpack, so much that's happened. And so first of all, Elise just celebrated 3 years. See, Elise started in 2022, and we want to thank you again, all of our community, everyone who's watching and everyone who's supporting us. You guys are just awesome. You are, again, the reason why we keep going. Elise is always and has always been and will always be community-centered. Our community is very important for us. Without our community, our collaborations wouldn't have been the same. Our life wouldn't be the same. And so thank you again. And Kanjam is all about community.
Yes.
It's one of the things that kept me going back to Singapore, other than, of course, it's a lovely place, amazing vibe. And we have a lot of friends over there. So our friends from Subtonic, Symphonium, Fatfrek, a lot of other suppliers and people we work with from the industry who actually go to the show. And this year we had a special guest because Jed from Craftiers joined us. It was his first Kanjam, and he, very simply, I think he had the time of his life.
Yeah, he really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. So we were working obviously on this collaboration with Craftiers, which is called Omnium TI. I'm sorry, I should feel ashamed of starting the video with like some self-promotion, but I don't really feel ashamed. So this is our upcoming collaboration, the Omnium TI, which many of you are already aware of. The prototype we showcased at Kanjam Singapore was pretty much final. We got a lot of good feedback. The reception was overall positive. We still want to challenge ourselves a little bit and see what we can do to make the sound, let's say, achieve a few more objectives. But we will be launching very soon, and you will hear more about it. Other than that, this Kanjam was one of the strongest, if not the strongest Kanjam I've personally been part of over the last 3 years when it comes to IEMs. But funnily enough, the first thing that I heard before even the show started, so on Friday night, as everyone was setting up, the first thing that I actually got to hear was a new headphone from a brand that we know. And we last year, actually, that brand made the IEM that for me was the IEM of last year's Canjam, which was the alter ego. And that brand is Melodic Artification. So I went to the show floor on Friday night when everyone was setting up. I got to hang out a little bit with Amos Korawong, awesome guy who is doing a lot of coverage for the show.
Big fan, Amos.
Absolutely. And I was there, talking to him. I was completely awestruck. Oh my God, I'm talking to Korawong, so that was really cool. And the Melodic Artification guys asked me to go with them to try this new product that they had. And turns out it was a headphone. And again, made the build was lovely, titanium build, very easy to drive, planar headphone. The cables made a big difference. So they had 2 cables, and one of the cables, with one of the cables, the sound was a bit more very open and sub-bass focused. The second cable gave a lot more body to the bass, and that's a headphone I am personally looking forward to, and I think is gonna make some noise. It's a very high quality sound. So that's something that was my first actually product that I heard at the show. The second one was the product that I think is the product of the show this year with no contest, and that's the Mysticraft Hex. Mysticraft is the new baby from our friend Lee. Lee doesn't need introduction, but he is the creator of Elysian, a brand that we have been working with for more than 2 years now, very proudly. Lee is a creative genius, and when you have a genius like that, you just cannot stop them. So Mysticraft is a different direction from Elysian, I would say. There will be, of course, always some overlaps and some similarities, but the first IEM that he is showcasing from Mysticraft that is finished is the Hex, which is a hexbrid. As far as I know, it is the first hexbrid in the world, or one of the first, and it is a very bold IEM. Let's put it this way. Whereas previous Elysian tunings have always had some a smoother sound, and they more or less, some of them had a bigger sub-bass focus, like the X or like Pilgrim. Some of them had a bit more mid-bass focus, like the Pilgrim Noir or the Annihilator. Hex is a lot of bass, a lot of mid-bass, very well controlled, a lot of treble, one of the best treble extensions, and extremely detailed treble, and the mid-range is also a little bit forward. So it is a very bold and forward IEM that will please a lot of people. I know that is the kind of signature that a lot of people like and have been looking for, and it is something that, as far as from my own experience, I haven't heard from Elysian. So Mysticraft, exciting new addition to the landscape, to the land, and but this said, Hex was not even the IEM that impressed me the most from Mysticraft, because going in, my expectation for Hex was to be fully blown away. So Hex is a $9,000 IEM, and at those prices, the expectation is to be blown away. But Lee was also showcasing a tribrid that will retail around $1,000, and I was surprised. It is the $1,000 price bracket has already been very, very strong over the past 3 years, with the Monarchs, with the Helioses, etc., etc. The Supernova, which is not too far.
Terra as well.
Terra, absolutely. So there's a lot of stronger IEMs in the kind of, call it $800 to $1,500. Even Diva was very strong. Yes. Apostle at the moment is a bit above, but very good IEM. And again, I can't go into detailed impressions at the moment for many reasons, including the fact that AC and flights have impacted my ears and my nose. But I think everyone at the show was blown away by the tribrid. And everyone was impressed by the performance to price ratio that you were getting. The cable is not something you would expect from a 1K IEM. That's the part that personally I was like, is this the stock cable? And I was actually surprised. So Mysticraft, great entrance, a big premiere if you want. There will be another model from Mysticraft, which will be revealed when the time is right. And we are looking forward to that. There are so many other standouts from the show, and I'm going to try to go through them from memory. Asteria has to be the next one.
Yes.
And Asteria from 7 Acoustics, our friends from Indonesia, is a model that we already showcased last year at Kanjam London. And last year, Asteria was probably the second most appreciated IEM after the PMG APX SE.
Yeah.
And this year, for me, after thinking about the Hex, Asteria comes to mind. It's better than last year. It helps that the build is now finished, and in my opinion, it looks great. And also, looks are always not necessarily for everyone, but I love how it looks. There is a lot of craftsmanship going on in the build of the shell, and the sound just got better overall. It is still a U-shaped signature, so if you like a very accurate, exciting reference tuning, I call it exciting because it has a little bit more sub bass, and there is definitely excitement in the treble. So if you like an exciting U-shape, Asteria definitely delivers the goods. It is a limited release, so 77 units, which I think will probably be too small of a number. But that's, 7 Acoustics said that it was very complicated for them to make Asteria, and so as a result, they're keeping it as a limited product. So that was really a standout, and it's a pleasure for me because it's a product that I actually heard last year, and and to give these guys credit, they collected feedback from myself, from others, and they challenged themselves to make it even better and succeeded. So congratulations on that. Another kind of another IEM that I know you guys have been looking forward to hearing about is the Canpur CP622B Ti. So the 622B, but in a titanium shell and with some sound tweaks. Now, I will say that the sound tweaks are not major,
right?
But to me, they hit all the right spots. So if anyone here, any of you have read my impressions of the 622B, there are two things that I noted, which is the bass, very good and technical, but I wanted maybe a bit more body in the bass.
Right.
And the treble, very smooth and very well extended, but maybe I wanted a little bit more excitement. The TI version delivered those two things for me. And I know that part of the reason for that is that the shell has been changed a little bit. So the shape of the new shell actually fits my ears, the universal shell. It fits my ears much better. And for a BA bass design, that matters a lot.
Yes.
Because insertion depth and perfect seal are both very important with any BA bass. That goes with Storm, Crimson, Europa, Canpur, Macbeth, all of these IEMs. So I think that part of the reason why I was having a much better experience is also the fact that it was fitting me so nicely.
Very more ergonomic, basically. Yeah.
More ergonomic, yes, because the 622B shell has that little wing that hits part of my ear, and so as a result, it wasn't maybe the most perfect fit. So great effort there by Canpur. Really liked it, and looking forward to it. Again, another limited release, and apparently they've already allocated most of the units, so that's great. I'm not surprised. The 622B has had a huge success with a lot of people, and I can see why. It's an IEM that hits a lot of spots, and if it hits your spots the right way, then there's not many things
that has its tuning.
Exactly. In that price range anyway. I'm just going by memory. So next to the Canpur booth, 40 Years. So another brand that we made a strong impression with the Macbeth, both in terms of sound and in terms of looks.
Yes. Exactly.
And but Ricardo has been listening, and Mephisto, their new IEM. I personally love the design. I think it's great. It's just flashy enough, and it has enough details in the faceplate.
It's quite intricate design on the faceplate.
Absolutely. Ricardo pays a lot of attention to that, and the cable is nice. Again, an Elitech cable. The sound of the Mephisto is an exciting W for me. Again, for my ears. The bass is phenomenal. This is a dynamic driver, I think. Bass is very bassy, but in a good way. That's again sub-bass focused, lots of textures, lots of body. The upper mids are forward, and actually at the show, Ricardo told me that he toned down the upper mids a little bit from previous prototypes because of some feedback he got. So I think that he did a good job, and I told him at the show that if the upper mids were more prominent, it would probably start to cause me some issues. But it was just right. It was forward, but nicely executed forward.
Nice.
And then in order to complement all of that, the treble is a little bit exciting as well. So again, this will be, some people like this. Some people might find the bass and or the treble too much. But definitely another very strong entry from 40 Years. And I always like when a brand tries different things and doesn't just settle, because Macbeth was so popular. and it would have been very easy to say, hey, this is a Macbeth light.
Yes, exactly.
And that would have been a almost obvious move, but they didn't go for the obvious, and they went for the risky. And I like risky. So and I think it's again, the way you mitigate these risks as a brand, and this is my message to brands, is by getting feedback and doing shows, sending the units to reviewers, to trusted partners or trusted users, consumers. You get feedback. It can only make your product better.
Yeah.
And there's no scenario where feedback has been, I would say about feedback, and this is a reminder to everyone, that any feedback from Kanjam, including my own, is deeply flawed by design, because long flight, jet lag, show floor noise, show floor excitement, and then most importantly, when you go to Kanjam, you are listening to probably 10, 15 things. And by the time you get to the 10th IEM or headphone, your brain is all over the place. So Kanjam is a great place to get a first assessment of a product and to get first impression. Now, Asteria I can't talk about because I heard it last year quite a bit. The Hex, I spent a little bit of time with it. And so I have a little bit more of a sample. Again, same thing with the 622B. So now so before I move on, the other big IEM that made a surprise appearance at the show was the new prototype from PMG, which is, for the time being, is called the APX V3. We actually have it here with us. It's going to be with us for a few days, and we're sending it next week. And the first thing I noticed when I listened to the V3 was that the treble just sounded right to my ears. I would say that the treble is sitting somewhere between the original and the SE, especially the lower treble part, where it is a little bit more than the SE, but it's still less than the original APX, which to my ears sounds just right. Now, this prototype sounds probably a little bit bassier than it definitely bassier than the APX SE. Now, whether that will translate to the final tuning or not, I do not know. Actually, that's not an information that I have. But it's another great, very strong entry from PMG that I believe that I cannot wait for the final product, because the original APX, I admired it so much from a technical point of view, but the treble was a bit too much for my own ears. The APX SE was definitely it kept a lot of what made APX special, and then it really made the sound a little bit more smoother and a bit bassier with a bit less treble. But sometimes I did wish that the lower treble had just a little bit more bite to it, So that's for the flagships, for the heavy hitters. But again, I mean, we talked about the Mysticraft Tribrid, but 2 IEMs at this show, not just one, but 2 $400 IEMs just blew me away. The first one is a prototype from Hercules Audio, the guys who brought us the excellent Moses. This is the Moses. And the new prototype, when I listened to it, I had no idea what the price was. And I assumed that it was maybe 2K, maybe something like just below Moses. But, and again, I should caveat this heavily because people are going to misinterpret what I'm saying here. I am not saying, anyway, I will say what I'm not saying in 2 minutes. But then when Benjamin from Hercules told me the price, he said it's going to be $400 or under. And I was like, that's not possible. That is literally challenging. And I'm very familiar with the $400 range.
Yeah.
It's the $200 to $400 range in IEMs is absolutely phenomenal at the moment.
So strong.
Wow. It has only been evolving over the past 3 years. It has only been getting better. And here at Elise, we get excited about those as much as we get excited about the Storms and the APXs and the Hexes and
100%.
Because we love that we can offer a good sound at any price point. So there was the Hercules audio prototype, and then there was another prototype from a new Chinese brand that's also $400. And both of them, I think, are single dynamic plus 3 BA in terms of configuration. I don't know how they will look because the looks are not final yet. But both are exciting. Both will be coming to Elise. I cannot wait to test them properly. And I am still waiting for an IEM to overtake my personal $400 benchmark, which is the Theodia Hype 4. So, you know, that's a huge and exciting development. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting. Oh, there's another standout product. So this is something that, you know, as you guys know, our community definitely knows. I get very excited about amplifiers, and I get even more excited about portable amplifiers.
Yeah,
and I get even more excited when they can fit in the pockets. So the Cayenne RU9, which is their new upcoming DAC amp dongle, it's about the same size as the MUB1.
Okay.
And it has tubes in it. It has new tubes. So you can use it in either solid state or a tube mode. And I think there's 2 different tube modes. And I tried, you know, I tried all of them. And no, sorry, I tried 2 modes and I just liked both of them so much. So we look forward to that. The Cayenne RU9. I think the price point is around $500. Hugely exciting product, and to me anyway, you know, I can't wait because it's been the QLS MUB1 for about 1.5 years was the undisputed champion. In my own pocket for everyday use. The MUB1 is a wonderful device. We talked about it in one of our previous lives.
Yes.
It is still very much as relevant.
Yes.
It is still as good. At the same time, for me personally, I was, you know, I sometimes want something with a little bit more kind of a more neutral signature.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it makes sense because you do a lot of testing.
I do a lot of testing, and I like to do a lot of my testing when I'm walking.
Yeah.
Or when I'm, you know, sometimes even in the tube or on a plane, because it's good to test IEMs in a noisy environment where you're not supposed to. But the MUB1 is warm. The Cayenne RU9 is, from memory, had also some warmth.
Okay.
Obviously, even more so in the tube mode. So looking forward to that. Actually, talking about warm, I think we should mention this. This is the Oris lamp, so the L amp. And this is a tube amp. And this is an interesting device because it has no battery, so it's fully, it needs external power in order to function. And the reason why I think this device is quite special is because it actually sounds like a tube amp. Just a very small one, but it actually sounds like a tube amp in the sense that most of us would imagine when we hear the word tubes, which is warm, lush, you get the staging. This might not be the best companion for sensitive IEMs.
Yeah, it depends on the IEM sensitivity. Even in IEM mode, that you may hear some noise from.
Yeah, exactly. And before I finish my Kanjam roundup, I need to give a nod to Krill and to the Meta. This is obviously another IEM that challenges the $200 to $400 bracket. I'm loving this. Again, my subjective impressions is that this is the kind of tuning I can enjoy. It is the meta tuning, so it does kind of remind me of things like the Mecha 5 EST. Have the price though. Again, I haven't compared them side by side, and I'm not saying that they sound the same or similar. But I think that for the price, Kryn definitely delivered a great IEM. I personally, Kryn was one of the people who got me into this hobby, and the reason for that is that I think that my tastes align with what he considers good, especially when it comes to bass.
Yes.
And so when I hear about a Kryn IEM, I get excited because I know I'm gonna like the bass, and I like the bass. It can get bassy on some tracks, but it's a well-executed IEM. Definitely delivers above the price point, and also unfortunately sold out. But I'm sure a lot of people out there, are looking forward to their unit, and I'm sure that we will see more things from the Cranier range.
Yeah,
that will use the work that was put into this platform.
Yes.
And to deliver other products. Oh yes, another big IEM at the show, even though it wasn't revealed at Kanjam Singapore. It was launched in New York, but the Symphonium Giant from our dear friends from Singapore. This project is probably, like, we are so familiar with Symphonium, and we work a lot with them, and obviously we've had a great collaboration history with them, and yet they keep surprising me. And when they told me about this project, it was called something else. I was like, what? You're making a warm IEM? So Symphonium decided to challenge themselves again. And they made not just a warm IEM, but an excellent warm IEM that has really a very big, but at the same time very well executed bass response.
Really fun and enjoyable.
Absolutely. And the mids are very engaging, very textured, and amazing mids. The treble is just enough. But what's impressive about the treble, and this is part of the technology that went into this, which is a tubeless design, is that the extension of the treble is absolutely phenomenal. It still has enough. The lower treble has enough energy to keep the sound exciting. So it's not a warm and kind of dark.
No, it's not dark sounding.
It's not dark sounding. It has enough excitement in the lower treble, and it has a lot of extension, which means that the stage is also quite nice on the Giant. So again, another strong IEM. As I said before we start this video, there's so many strong products in this this Kanjam. Kind of puts pressure on us for Kanjam London. To compete. But there's always some good stuff happening. Another couple of things before I hand over to our dear Zealous is the AME Musa, another warm IEM that I enjoyed. Again, warm but exciting. It has enough treble excitement. It actually, surprised me that I enjoyed it as much as I did.
That's got amazing build, I think, as well. It's really stunning.
Really great build. We will be showcasing it at Kanjam London as well, so you guys can look forward to that. And then we also look forward to testing the new Fur Audio Project K, which looks fantastic. And the thing with the Fur Audio IEMs is I can't really talk about the sound until I've tried the different modules. But what I heard in Singapore reminded me maybe more of KR5 as opposed to Radon 6. But I'm going to put a huge caveat on that. And I'm going to report back when we actually have it, which will be quite soon. All right, that's it for me. I talk a lot. It's time for me to hand it over to someone who actually knows what he's talking about.
No. Hi, everyone. So, we haven't done this in a while, so I'll just probably start with this headphone, the Sennheiser HD 550. This one has been getting quite a lot of traction and hype, quite understandably. So it's same sort of chassis design as the 5 Series, but it has a few improvements. This sort of leatherette, sort of quite nicely cushioned headband. The grill's a slightly different color. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's the tuning. It's the tuning that's quite different. Probably I'd describe this as like a super HD 560S. It is surprisingly punchy. I would say it has a bit more low end linearity than the 6 Series. I do need to compare against the 660S too a bit more. But this is a strong headphone, really good value, and obviously quite easy to power and drive. Different driver. Again, I'm not sure if you can see it with the lighting there is. It's quite an unusual sort of baffle and driver design there. But this is it's a hot ticket item, this one. Yeah, definitely try and demo this if and when you can. And the other one I want to talk about is this one. This is a headphone that has shockingly, very, very little coverage, pro audiophile or whatever. This is the Focal Lenses Pro. Now, this is, technically a pro headphone, but even in the pro space and the pro magazines and websites and so on, very little coverage or reviews on this. We think that's a shame. We're both big fans of this. Actually, when we first heard about this, because Focal, what they've done historically with their pro headphones, so like the Listen Pro with the Clear, and then the Clear Pro, and then the Clear MG and MG Pro, it was the same product with just different colorway and different accessories. So when this came out, we were like, oh, this is just a Azuris and just a different color and probably different accessories. Wrong.
It's not.
That is very wrong. That was not the case.
Yeah.
This is a completely different tuning. Massive fans of this. I would probably describe this as just neutral, maybe just a slight boost in the top end, just slight, very slight. Shockingly open sounding and expansive.
Yes.
Very good frontal projection of sound. Really good low end, typical. I mean, Focal bass dynamics are just extraordinary, quite unique within the industry. But we've had a few pro people around who came, they tried this. A few bought this as well for pro work and applications, so we're not surprised there. But even amongst audiophiles, definitely give this a try if and when you can. This one is, for me, and I think even for both of us, this is one of our favorite closebacks under £1,000, full stop. So
it is one of my favorite closebacks. Now, I haven't heard as many closebacks as you have, but I mean, look at the size of it. It's basically the same chassis as the Bathys.
Yes.
And the first thing that surprised me when I heard this, and initially I wasn't sure. I didn't know that it was a closed back, and I was asking Saeed. I was like, "Is this actually closed or open?" And it's actually closed back. So no, it doesn't sound as open as the Hadenis.
Yeah.
The Hadenis does sound more open, but this is really, really good. Not that far.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love the bass response on this. The treble has. Yes, a little bit. The camera is doing something, so I think our camera is.
It likes the panda.
Our camera has AI in it, so I think it's somehow decided to, it's decided to do its own thing. So, all right, camera, thank you very much. But yeah, this is a phenomenal closeback.
Yes.
I think it's very wrong to call it a pro headphone, even though it is a pro headphone, and but it's also an audiophile headphone.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Same as you can say that the Clear and the Clear MG are, can go either way.
Yeah.
This can definitely go either way. It is one of my favorite closebacks. 100%.
Yeah. And the other thing, I mean, so it's the same chassis housing design as the Bathys and the Azuris and Hadenis, and obviously it folds flat as well. But the pads, this is one thing, again, a lot of people, they don't talk about this as much. The pads are a fabric material, so it keeps going. So the pads have pretty good.
Following my face.
So the pads have pretty good air circulation as well, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, I'll move on to the next one.
Facing the camera. Come on, camera. Please. Come on.
This way. So
thanks, Xavi, for this.
So the next headphone I want to talk about, I'm going to get into some desktop related stuff soon. But the next one I want to talk about is this. This is the AUN SR7000.
Oh no, I cannot even.
Oh my god! Oh no. So this one, if I hold up quite close, I'm not sure if you can see it, but the cups looks like it is an open back design. It isn't. It is a closed back design. It's the same chassis as the AR5000.
Yeah.
It does weigh a little bit more. Obviously, there's a bit more material involved. The ear pads are quite different to the open back counterpart. So it is a quite plush sort of leatherette ear pad, but it does have memory foam. The passive isolation on this is really quite good. And tonally, it is quite different to the AR5000. I find it's quite complementary. So I would describe it as it's quite warm sounding, but it is surprisingly wide and quite spacious sounding. What would you describe it as, like a non-fatiguing kind of signature? This one, a bit more laid back.
A little bit more, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think the Lenses Pro is probably a bit more even signature, maybe.
Yeah, a bit more balanced. Yeah, a bit more neutral. Sorry, not balanced.
Yeah. I think it can go either way, but I think I slightly lean towards the Lenses Pro personally. But both are in, and the funny thing is, people have been asking us for a very long time when they come to see us here. What close backs around £500 would you recommend? And I've always, for me, the answer was never obvious.
Yeah.
We had the Sennheiser 620S last year.
Yes.
But it's not that many. And then we got these two products, one after the other, and it was really a really good surprise.
Yeah, and it's great for the industry and for the hobby that there are some really good closed back headphones now, because it's not easy to make a good closed back headphone for sure. So the final, actually not the final, one of the last few headphones I want to talk about is this beauty. This is the Dunu Arashi. So I just want to show it off with that lovely glimmer. Look at those ear cups, quite stunning. Now, honestly, I promise you guys, the video or pictures will not do this justice because
let me get my face here.
So again, I'll just hold it up. It's really, you see that? Can you see that? There we go. This is really stunning textured metal ear cups, which is different on the outside part of the cup. And it's a different texture here on the inside of the cup. Oh, there we go. The camera's going a bit mad.
It's my camera.
So honestly, massive credit to Dunu for this. I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked this is their first headphone ever. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. The build is amazing. I think it looks amazing. The comfort's really good. It has a little bit of weight, so it weighs 520 grams. Now, that's not crazy, guys. It's like only 30 more than Utopia, so it's not that heavy. But this strap, uber supple and soft, and this is a suede material. The ear pads, oh no, it's following you. Oh no, oh my goodness. So so the ear, there we go. So the ear pads, again, very hard to pick up on the camera. They are a hybrid type. So this is a fabric that touches the skin, very similar to Sesvara pads. The inner part is perforated leatherette. The outer part is solid leatherette. And again, it's impossible to see it, but the magnet alignment is, again, quite unusual. It is not vertical. It is not horizontal. It's slanted. But sonically, oh, there we go. Sonically, I am a really, really big fan of this headphone. Now, I don't like to hype up things too much, but I will say, for me, this is probably the most impressive planar or dynamic I've heard under 2K, which is quite big praise. Now, obviously, tonally, it's not going to work for everyone. I would describe it as maybe slightly V-shaped, something like that. There is a little bit of energy in the top end, a little bit. Yeah. But it is quite spacious. It's not a forward presentation. So I don't perceive the mids, like center mids, upper mids, to be uber forward or super forward. But the bass
The
quality.
bass. Yeah.
Ay caramba! The bass quality on this.
Yeah.
It's actually, you know what? Sound Jedi really summed up really well, actually. And I actually came to, I understood what he meant afterwards, and I spent a bit more time listening to it. This kind of sounds like, if Hyphaman and Odyssey made a headphone together.
Yeah.
Because it has a bit of that Hyphaman, a bit of that Hyphaman top end.
Yeah.
But it has that low end palpability and physicality that Odyssey planos do so well. The bass quality
Is
the texture, the resolution. Oh my goodness, it is outstanding, and the detail retrieval is shockingly good.
Yeah, can anyone listen to this man talk about headphones and not want to buy it? Like, I want to buy it right now. Like, this is our demo, and I want to buy it and take it home. Now, this is again, Dunu. We know Dunu very well, obviously from IEMs, and Dunu have always over-delivered when it comes to build quality and accessories.
Oh, the accessories! Oh, the presentation is stunning.
Yeah, anything they make, like even the Dunu Da Vinci. It has an amazing wooden faceplate, comes with amazing modular, etc., etc. This unboxing is another level, even for them.
I couldn't believe it. It's triple box,
and then you get a leather case. You get 2 really nice cables. The IEM itself is stunning. This part to me here might seem negligible, but this is so important for comfort.
Oh, man,
it's such a comfortable and really nice leather suede, actually. Suspension strap that actually makes it comfortable despite the weight. In terms of sound, I will agree with pretty much everything that Zelos has said. For me, there is a little bit of a something in the treble higher up that is not necessarily it's definitely not a deal breaker, and it's something I can work around with different sources and amps.
Yeah.
But what a solid effort from Dunu. And this is gonna keep happening. This is something that when you look at what happened with the IEM space, this is something that I was fully expecting for about a couple of years now. I'm actually, it's finally happening, and it took time with many iterations from other brands, etc. But it was only a matter of time before the Chinese companies. I mean, obviously, Hyphaman is Chinese, but they were historically a bit of an outlier. Now we are seeing Ayun make a really good headphone. We are seeing Dunu make a really good headphone. We are seeing Fio make headphones that are getting traction.
Yeah.
And so Melodic Artification that I was just talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm really looking forward to trying that one.
Oh, and that is a proper flagship. That is not going to be 2K. I think it's going to be more than that. And what I heard was it could be up with anything, basically.
Yeah.
So it's the Arashi was very popular in Canjam, New York, and when we got it, we totally understood why.
Yeah, I was really shocked, honestly. Still shocked. So the other headphone, which is just next to the Panda there, I don't know which I'm pointing at.
The Poet.
It's just over there. It's the Mezz Poet. Shall I bring it over?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So
the camera follows me if I move, so I can't move. I have to stay here. How do we adjust this? We're gonna need to.
So the Mezz, here we go. This is the absolutely stunning Mezz Poet. Now, so this is a departure in terms of design for them with this type of. It's very similar to Dan Clark Audio, sort of this spring metal headband design, but it still has this strap that's quite. Again, I'm pretty sure this is a patented strap that they did first with the Imperial, but this is basically the same chassis as the closeback Lyric 2 and Lyric 1, but it obviously, like the Lyric 2, has removable earpads, and it does have a waveguide, and this is. In collaboration or in conjunction with Dan Clark Audio. There we go. You see that lovely waveguide resonator. There we go. So, extremely well made, very comfortable. The weight distribution is just sublime. Tonally, this is an interesting sound. there is vibes of the original Empyrean. I understand why people are using that as when they talk about this, when they review this as a reference. It does have some warmth. There is a little bit of energy in the, I think, mid treble, upper treble, or something like that. But yeah, for a lot of people, this is going to be a sound that they're after. It is a different sounding planar for sure, and it's an open back planar. Obviously we will hear quite differently. A friend of mine, he just loves this spatially, technically. He finds it quite relaxed, kind of signature. It's got full low end as well. Yeah, do you want to share any?
I like the Poet. I know that for some people the treble has been a bit divisive, maybe. But again, yes, there are some Empyrean one vibes, but I think it's also overall a little bit of an improvement over the. And I think this is on purpose. Like, I think the fact that it has the same pattern. Remember the Mezz Empyrean came in this copper color, and so I think that this is kind of a throwback,
homage, maybe.
To the Empyrean. And I know that even with the Empyrean 2, that got probably one of the best. It's one of the best reviewed headphones of the past 18 months,
years,
and almost unanimously liked by reviewers. This is more of a warmer, laid back sound, definitely in the low end and in the mids. The treble, there's a little bit of a I think upper treble
maybe
boost.
I think maybe upper treble. Yeah.
That, to me, it doesn't bother me. I hear it as a feature. I know that some people may hear it as a brightness, and again, love the build and the design. But this is definitely one of those try before you buy headphones.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. So let's. So probably the last headphone we'll talk about. Which
you keep saying that.
I know. Sorry.
There's always one more.
There's always one more. So it is.
Oh yeah.
This stunner. Oh my goodness. Let me try and. Let's try.
Yeah, that's a headphone that comes with a cable attached.
Yeah. So here we go. This is the. Let's bring that closer. There we go. Oh, look at that grill. My goodness. So this is the Odyssey Carbon 2. This is Odyssey's flagship open back headphone, full stop. Yes, it's an electrostatic design. I'm a big fan of this design and look. Oh my goodness. It's just stunning. So the top part is a glossy carbon fiber, and the ear cups, again, very hard to pick up on the camera, even on pictures. It's a glossy forged carbon, which I haven't seen before. Not on a headphone. I mean, so like the Utopia 2022 has forged carbon yokes, but they're matte, whereas the ear cups are forged carbon, but they're glossy. So very unusual. Again, the grill is just stunning. So the ear pads, there they are. Oh, there we go. There they are. So they are quite deep, fairly deep, solid leather. It keeps
it's gonna keep doing it. I think there's a.
I'm just gonna have to keep doing it. So so Odyssey Carbon 2. So I will say this for me. So I used to own the LCD5. This sounds like a super LCD5. So it is a quite similar tuning. So quite a noticeable boost in the upper mids, 3K, 4K-ish region, more 3K really. It is a bit mid-forward. The bass, it is shockingly good on this one, especially for an E-stat. So actually, I would say it is, again, this is the thing. Electrostatics, they change so much with, they're so transparent. They change so much with amps. Yeah. So I had it here with a tube amp, and then I tried it with solid state. I actually preferred it. The low end I preferred with the solid state, but everything else I actually preferred with the tube. So that's something to bear in mind. They do change a lot with gear.
Bogdan.
Oh, hey. Hey, man. So, this is, and the resolution, especially in the mid-range, so impressive. Such an impressive technical headphone, and pretty good width as well, this one. Any thoughts?
Not yet, because I do look forward to spending more time with it. it looks great. That's all I can say right now. And it's a headphone that I'm a bit more, with e-stats. I'm like kind of not every e-stat works for me.
Yeah.
I kind of I do appreciate what e-stats do, and I understand the appeal of the resolution, etc. But to me, most e-stats just lack low-end engagement. Sorry, I'm probably making a lot of enemies right now. I respect different preferences, and I respect that, it's just for me, I kind of need but at the same time, some of the best headphones I've ever heard have been e-stats, including the HE1, which is, these days it seems to be a favorite sport to say that X sounds better than HE1. So the HE1 is still to this day one of the best personal audio experiences I've ever had. And and so has been the feedback when we had it here on display. It was quite unanimous. We had customers saying, I wish I had that kind of money. If I had that kind of money, I'd be ordering one. So, and then another one of my favorite e-stats is the
Lambda Nova Signature.
Lambda Nova Signature is again an outlier.
Yeah.
And I actually, I tried Zelus's own unit, and then I went and bought one. Even though I still don't own an e-stat amp, but I'm like, that's an e-stat that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And so I'm keeping it, because so, but this one we'll spend more time.
Yeah.
Now over the next weeks, and let's see.
Cool. So, should we move on to a few of these desktop stuff? So, let's talk about this beauty. There we go. Look at that. So this is the Lave UDAC, or people call it the Micro DAC.
Micro DAC, I think probably. Yeah.
DAC. So obviously this has got quite a lot of attention and hype and quite positive reviews. The build is just quite stunning, really. So I'll just show you. Oops, there we go. So there we go. So that's the
so only outputs. XLR input, right? Only balanced output.
Yes, only balanced outputs. USB I2S in coaxial, and I think is that Toslink? Yeah, optical Toslink. I have to say the display is just stunning. It's a dot matrix screen. It's really, really cool. It's different to the Harmony DAC.
Right.
So the Harmony DAC is an OLED one. This is a dot matrix, actually very similar to the Rockner Wavelight.
Right.
And look how small it is, guys. Look at the size. It's my thumb. It's so cute, honestly. It's about the same size as the Qtest.
It's about the Qtest size, yeah.
Very similar size. So someone who wants a very small footprint DAC, obviously this is a discrete
R2R.
Yeah, discrete R2R ladder DAC. This is pretty much unique, really. I don't think
it is quite unique. And the size is going to appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's also good that we have the Qtest in that form factor.
Yeah.
Now this is a very different sound, because Qtest is obviously the chord sound. This is a R2R, definitely warmer sounding, and great units. And we fed back to Laiv that it would be great if they made a matching amplifier. Laiv have made, to be fair, it's not like Laiv have been slacking.
They
have been working hard. Over the past year, they've released a DAC, a headphone amplifier,
which is a preamp, a very good preamp as well.
Very good preamp. I was surprised by how good that is, the HP2A, how good that is with speakers as a pre. And then the DDC, now this one, the Micro DAC. And they're just about to release the speaker amp.
Yeah, the GAN M.
Yeah. So there's only so much you can ask from a brand, and the thing is, they've delivered a solid product every single time.
Yeah.
So, but as the HP2A is not the best for easy to drive IEMs or headphones. Laiv is aware of that, and actually, when we met this weekend in Singapore, and they did mention that they are thinking about maybe implementing a gain switch But I also suggested, because that DAC looks so nice, and many people would love to have that
A stack,
small stack for easy to drive, for IEMs and easy to drive headphones, even though that the lines are blurred these days. But yeah, fantastic unit, great. Looks great. This is not a volume wheel though. It's not a preamp.
Yeah.
So this
is just a DAC.
This is just the wheel that allows you to navigate the menu.
Yeah. So this has the non-oversampling and oversampling. I think I preferred an oversampling mode. And sonically, this is quite similar performance to the Holo Scion 2, which does cost more. So yes, fair enough. The Scion 2 does have RCA outputs and it does have an additional digital input. But for this to sound quite similar in performance, even tonally, to the Scion 2 is again pretty impressive achievement by Nave Audio.
Yeah, this is from memory when I compared this to the Scion 2, and again we have a quite unique device here to measure that, to compare DACs, and that's the ZAL HM1, because you can very quickly A/B. And A/Bing DACs is actually a very tricky thing to do. It's not obvious, and if you have a 30-second or a minute delay between DACs, it will take you much longer to actually So, but between this and the Scion 2, to me, the Live, obviously this unit needs a little bit more burn-in time to kind of fully come into its own. But the Scion 2 was slightly more neutral to my ears. Whereas the micro DAC or mu DAC was a little bit more, a little bit warmer, but definitely there wasn't a big gap. There was not a big gap in performance, which is a huge compliment given how popular and given how solid the Scion 2 is. I mean, that was Holo's statement product last year. Really, many people are happy with the Scion 2. So, and this is smaller, and again, I think still a slightly different flavor. Some people will want to go for that Holo house sound, for a good reason. The Holo sound has been popular for so long, such a solid brand, because of the how natural and accurate their stuff sounds at the same time. Lovely unit.
Cool. So we'll talk about this again, another smaller unit. Here we go. This is the Chord Alto. Look how small that is.
Another Pro product.
It's a Pro, This is, so originally it was a Pro product. So she's not focusing, sadly. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. So
focusing on me.
I know. So this was originally a Pro product only. But again, credit where credit's due. Chord listened to the feedback from retailers and dealers, as well as the community and audiophiles, and they wanted this. Audiophiles did want this, and then now it's now we can offer this. So this, I'll just tell you what this is. This is a headphone amp and speaker amp and preamp, and it's their first product ever to have, which is their
4.4,
a 4.4 Pentacon socket. So this is the first time ever. Now, I will have to caveat this. This is not a balanced design inside or outside. So it does have XLR in and out, and obviously it has that balanced headphone jack. It is just there for convenience.
We don't care. We want 4.4. It's okay.
Yeah, so that means one less adapter. Obviously,
Hugo 3, 4.4.
Yes, please, for goodness sake, Chord. So
we will delete that part.
So this is super small. The build is really amazing.
Yeah,
really solid build. So this has a very nice weighty volume dial. Really stunning. Everyone who's tried this dial, they're like, wow,
lovely
this
dial.
is really stunning. And it's a thick aluminium dial, which is indented here. So the middle, people think it's a scrolly thing. It isn't. It is just a button. that does move. And then there's input and output button, of course. Now, I will say this, tonally, this is quite, in terms of the headphone performance, I would describe this as pretty neutral, maybe a little bit dry sounding. So, again, suitable for pro work and stuff. It's not too distracting for mixing and mastering and so on. There is one thing I will say. It is shockingly powerful, unbelievably powerful. So again, whether that's wattage, voltage out, again, I don't know what it is.
Power.
It's just power. It's just power. So I'm not joking, guys. This can power Sesvara pretty well. And I think I couldn't even get to 12 o'clock.
Same with Storm.
Same with Storm. I think Storm, what we were at 9 or 10.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It is
crazy.
For something of this size. And I don't know if you can see on the back. So it has a unusual, is it 12 volts? I think it's 12 volts. There it is. There.
Yeah.
So an unusual barrel. So the power supply, it is external. One slight negative is that the cable on the power supply, it is a bit stiff, but it is worldwide voltage.
The power supply is bigger than the amp.
I know, it's huge.
Not bigger, but when you take the whole thing
into consideration, yeah. But shockingly powerful. And as a speaker amp, so I did try this at home as a speaker amp. The resolution was really impressive. The low end tightness, it helped my speakers in terms of scale. Quite an impressive unit. And
it's what, 50 watts for speakers?
50 watts into 8 ohms. So it is quite capable. Honestly, it is quite capable. And the price, again, I was quite impressed with the price point. This is £2,999. Including VAT. So
I was surprised when we saw this the first time. I thought it would be much bigger. And when a friend of ours came here and brought it the first time before we even got our unit, it was shocking how small it is. The fact that this can drive any headphone, it can actually drive speakers. It is a preamp. Is really crazy. And I personally look forward to comparing this with the upcoming Suzy power amp. So the power amp that matches the Hugo 2. Hugo 3 and 4.4. That's gonna be our intro, Hugo 3. But yeah, it's a really cool amp. I would probably pair it with a warmer DAC personally. It's again another pro product that can very, very easily apply for audiophile purposes.
Absolutely. And there's quite a big fan base for chord products. So definitely one to try when you can. All
right. Is there anything else?
I think that's pretty much it.
Covered a lot, and it's over an hour now.
Oh my god!
So we did have lunch before the stream because otherwise I would be fainting, and I'm still recovering from my Singapore adventures. I did not party or anything, but Kanjam weekends are always special. So I think we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys again. For joining us, and sorry again about the whole camera situation. We will fix it next time, but I hope you'll agree that we're improving our production value.
That's it. Look at the sun is playing with us, so it's lovely.
That's
real sunlight.
It's not. There's no point. But thank you. We will be doing more of these more regularly, hopefully, if and when we find the time. Definitely, we will do a pre. Kanjam, London Kanjam, we will do one pre-Kanjam to kind of elaborate on. Thank you, Xavi. See you later.
Thanks, Xavi.
So anyway, thank you very much, and we will see you soon.
Take care, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Oh, that was good.